Hello, I am Mr. Dilip Kumar Pal, reader in political science. Today presents before my viewers with an English video relating to the office of the Vice President of India. Today's video mainly relates with the qualifications, term, election process and powers of the Indian Vice President. But before we start about Vice President, we must know first of all a few lines about the importance of Vice President of India. In India, the office of the Vice President is a very prestigious one. The President of India is the number one citizen of India. If President is the number one citizen of India, Vice President is the number two citizen of India. So Indian Vice President is a very prestigious personality in Indian political system. Just as the Indian Constitution has been influenced by a considerable extent by the American Constitution, so in India, like American Constitution, we have a president, and to assist the president, we have the vice president. So, Indian vice president is a person having high degree of status and high degree of personality. So, Indian vice president is an important office. So far as the Vice President of India is concerned, Article 63 says that there must be a Vice President in India. The first article which relates with the Vice President is Article 63. Article 63 says there shall be a Vice President for the Indian country. And Article 64 says that the Vice President is the ex officio chairman of the Rajya Sabha. And Article 65 says that in the absence of the President, the Vice President acts as the President. We will discuss Article 64 and 65 later on. So far as Article 66 says how Vice President of India is elected. The Vice President of India is elected from an electoral college consisting of members of Rajya Sabha and members of Lok Sabha by a method known as proportional representation by means of single transferable vote system. No doubt the Vice President is elected from an electoral college consisting of members of Parliament, but the voting will be the secret ballot. Article 66 2 says that the Vice President must not be members of either of Parliament or any state legislature. Article 66 plus 3 says that he must be a citizen of India, his age must not be less than 35 years, and the Vice President of India must not be in any house, in any profitable business. Article 66 clause 4 says that he must not be a government servant, either he will not be a government servant under the central government or state government or any other local government controlled by the central government or state government. These are all about the qualification of the vice president. So what are the qualifications of vice president? He must not be a member of parliament or state legislature. His age must not be less than 35 years. He must be a citizen of India. He must have those qualifications which a member of Rajya Sabha possesses. Then he must not be a government servant either of central government, state government or any local government controlled by central government or state government. Then Article 68, then Article 67 says that the term of vice president is 5 years. The term of vice president is 5 years, told by 67 clause 1. And 67 clause 2 says about the removal process of the vice president. 67 clause B says how the vice president will be removed. If the vice president will misbehave anybody or he will function against the constitution, then a 14 days notice will be given to the Rajya Sabha, and in the Rajya Sabha there will be voting by 2/3 majority vote, and if it will be passed in the Rajya Sabha, it will be referred to the Lok Sabha. Again, if it will be passed in the Lok Sabha, the vice president will be removed. So how the vice president will be removed? If the vice president will misbehave anybody or if he will act against the constitution, a 14 days notice will be given to the Rajya Sabha, and members of Rajya Sabha must support it by 2/3 of the members. After it is passed in the Rajya Sabha, it will be referred to the Lok Sabha. If Lok Sabha will also approve it by 2/3 majority votes, then the vice president will be removed. Then Article 67 clause 3 says that, 67 clause C says that a vice president will continue in the office till a new vice president will enter into the office. It means the term of the vice president is 5 years. But he will continue in the office after even 5 years till a new vice president will enter into the office. Okay? Very good. Then Article 68 says that no doubt the office of the vice president is 5 years. But before his term will be over, there must be an election for the office of the vice president. Then Article 69 says that the vice president will have to take oath before he enter into the office. In the oath, he will have to mention that he will function honestly and on the basis of the constitution. So these are all about the qualification of the vice president, his term, his appointment procedure, his removal procedure, his oath, etc. Now we'll see what are the functions of the vice president. I have already told you that the office of the vice president is a prestigious one. He is the number 2 citizen of the country. He has some powers, as many as he has 6 powers. Number 1, act as chairman of the Rajya Sabha under Article 64. Under Article 64 of the Constitution of India, the vice president is the ex officio chairman of the Rajya Sabha. As he is the vice president, he is given the charge of the chairman of Rajya Sabha. So as a chairman of Rajya Sabha, he maintains discipline in the Rajya Sabha. If any member of Rajya Sabha will create disturbance, will create an awkward situation, the vice president has the power to give order to the marshal to remove that member from the house. Even the vice president as the chairman of Rajya Sabha can suspend a member of Rajya Sabha for creating disturbance for rest of the session. He has the power to suspend any disturbing member to the rest of the session. So, as a chairman of the Rajya Sabha, he maintains decorum in the Rajya Sabha. He maintains discipline in the Rajya Sabha. It is a responsibility to see how Rajya Sabha will function smoothly and will operate on the basis of the constitution. Okay, very good. The second function of the vice president is that he acts as the president of India on some situation. Article 65, clause 1, clause 2, clause 3 says in which occasion the vice president will act as president. Article 65 clause 1 says that if the president will be removed or he will die, at the time it is the function of vice president to act as president. Article 65 clause 2 says that the vice president will act as president when the president will suffer from some disease or the president will be unable to perform its function. At the time, the vice president will act as president till the president recovers from his illness. Number 3, 65 clause 3 says that it is the duty of the vice president to act as president on some situations like after his removal or for his illness. But when the vice president will act as president, he will enjoy all the privileges and emoluments which the president possesses. Number 3, act as custodian of rights of the members of Rajya Sabha. Another function of the vice president is that he is the chairman of Rajya Sabha. As the chairman of Rajya Sabha, he is the protector, he is the custodian of the rights of the members of Rajya Sabha. As he is the head of Rajya Sabha, it is his responsibility to see how the rights, privileges and facilities of the members of Rajya Sabha will be protected. He will not allow in any occasion for the violation of rights and privileges of the members of Rajya Sabha. Number 4, exercise casting vote in case of tie. Another function of the vice president is that he is the chairman of Rajya Sabha. No doubt he is a chairman of Rajya Sabha. But he will not cast his vote in the Rajya Sabha so long as there is no tie. time means, for example, whenever there will be a voting in the Rajya Sabha, if 50% members of Rajya Sabha will support a bill, and if 50% members of Rajya Sabha will go against the bill, it is known as a tie. At that time, Vice President will cast his vote. Otherwise, he will remain as a silent observer. He will not cast his vote so long as there will not be any tie. The moment there will be a tie, the Vice President will cast his vote. This is the fourth function of the Vice President. The fifth one is act as Chancellor of Delhi University. The Vice President acts as a Chancellor of the Delhi University. He is given a prestigious post to work as Chancellor of the Delhi University. So, as a Chancellor of Delhi University, he confers degrees to the students of Delhi University, and he attends many ceremonies as a Chancellor of Delhi University. He functions, he attends various ceremonies of the Delhi University. Another function of the Vice President is that he conveys the resignation of President to the Speaker. Another crucial function of the Vice President is that whenever the President of India will resign, either due to illness or any other ground, the President will intimate the same to the Vice President, and Vice President will intimate the same to the Speaker of Lok Sabha. So, to make it more clear, whenever the President will resign from his office, he will give his resignation letter to the Vice President. But it is the responsibility of the Vice President to inform the Speaker about the resignation of the resignation of the President. So these are the main six functions of the Vice President of India. First of all, he acts as the Chairman of Rajya Sabha under Article 64. He is the Chairman of Rajya Sabha. He controls the Rajya Sabha. Number two, act as President on two grounds. On Article 65 Clause 1, if President will be removed or he will resign, the Vice President will act as President. 65 Clause 2, if the President is suffering from diseases and he is incapable to perform function, at that time Vice President will act as President. And 65 Clause 3 says that whenever the Vice President will act as President, he enjoys all the facilities of the President. Number two. Number three, act as custodian of the rights of members of Rajya Sabha. As he is the head of Rajya Sabha, it is his duty to preserve the rights of the members of Rajya Sabha. Then, excise casting vote in case of tie. Whenever in the Rajya Sabha there will be voting, and in the voting there will be tie, means 50% members of Rajya Sabha will oppose a bill and 50% members of Rajya Sabha will support a bill. It is not tie. At the time the Vice President will exercise his vote to decide the fate of the bill. Number 5, act as Chancellor of Delhi University. Another function of the Vice President is that he acts as the Chancellor of Delhi University. As a Chancellor, he confers degrees to the qualified students He attends various ceremonies of the Delhi University. Finally, convey the resignation letter of the president to the speaker. Whenever the president will resign on some grounds, he will give a resignation letter to the vice president. But it is the vice president who will intimate the speaker about the resignation of the president. So in this video we have discussed what are the qualifications of the vice president, how he is elected, how he is removed, what is his term, how he is the number 2 citizen of the country, and in addition to that we have discussed as many as 6 crucial functions of the Vice President of India. Thank you, students. I feel that this video will be very much useful to students engaged in +2, +3 and other competitive examinations. I think this video will be very much helpful because it has a lot of articles, it is a detailed video. I hope my students will be benefited. Thank you to all. Again we will be here in another video. My video is related only with the study. It will be relevant for students. I request you to subscribe my channel. So the benefit will be yours that in future you will get relevant videos. Thank you, students. Goodbye. Again we will be here with a new video. Till now, goodbye.